beautiful people. How are you guys? I'm so excited to be here at Stronger Weekend with two of my Fitspirations. These ladies are super amazing, and we're gonna talk about the future of fitness and how it pertains to technology, social media, exercise, and health habits. So, first, a little bit about me. I'm from a studio called Box Union in Santa Monica, soon to be Robertson and Sherman Oaks. Super excited about that. And it's a 45-minute workout that's music-driven. We box to the beat. It's super, super fun, so I hope all of you will come take a class with me. But first, I'd like to introduce these beautiful ladies up here. We have certified personal trainer and creator of the Body Love app, Anna Victoria.
Hi, everyone.
And then Beachbody super trainer, Autumn Calabrese.
Hi, guys.
How are you, ladies?
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Yes, for sure. I'm so excited to be up here with both of you. So I have a few questions. We'll start with the first one. What impact are you seeing technology have on people's fitness routines?
Yeah, I can just say that coming from someone who did not grow up the least bit interested in fitness, that I'm very grateful to social media because I feel like it's allowed it to be a lot more accessible to your everyday person, to people who weren't in fitness or who didn't think that fitness was for them. And now you can see that it is for everyone. So I think that it's just been a really great kind of transition from it's no longer your athletes or, you know, the elite athletes that can be into fitness. Anyone can.
I think we're seeing a big shift from people feeling like they have to go to a gym or whether or not they can afford to go to a gym. It is, like you were saying, putting it in the hands of everybody and really making it, again, more accessible and more comfortable to do it. Not everybody's super comfortable to step into a big gym where maybe like a lot of the guys are lifting and they don't really know what to do with the equipment. Now you're getting all of these different fitness professionals, knowledgeable people right in the palm of your hand at home, leading you through and really teaching you and showing you the way and opening up the door to so many different fitness types, everything from boxing and dancing to weight training and yoga and more. So I think it's really just opening it up to everybody.
I love that. Well, both of you ladies have amazing tribes behind you, and you've both done an amazing job of making fitness for everyone. My second question, how has social media impacted the communities you've built around your fitness business?
I think it's made the communities so strong, and it's really allowed us to grow and reach so many people. I know having my big Facebook groups when I run a program or things like that, like 80-Day Obsession that we launched back in January. Yeah. Yay! You know, having 40,000 people in a Facebook group pushing play together every single day is quite motivating and inspiring, and I think it keeps people going on their journey to have this place to turn to where if you're having a really rough day, you get to go right into that community and say, I'm having a rough day, and you've got your whole tribe behind you being like, you can do it, go do it, and it keeps you going, it keeps you pushing, and it makes it that much more fun. So I think it's really opened up a new world to people to embrace the fitness lifestyle and just a healthy lifestyle and have a group to turn to.
Yeah, absolutely. My community, that is the FBG community, now Body Love Squad, for me, it's, you know, not only accountability that all the different women can provide and give to each other, because you know, not everyone has that at home. And so this journey is not easy. It's largely not just physical, but it's a huge mental and emotional journey. And to be able to have other women who are on that same, you know, path, cheering you on, supporting you, saying, hey, I struggle with the same thing, like it's invaluable. And for me personally, I started my fitness journey when I was living in China. So as you can imagine, I did not have anyone really around me to support me or to like cheer me on. And honestly, I was a little embarrassed even to like tell my family what I was doing, since I was the last person that anyone would think would get into fitness. And it was there when I was in China that I created my first Instagram account, and I started connecting with people on social media that were on their journey too, that I realized, wow, like this is so powerful to be able to have other women to turn to and to support and just have someone to talk to. So I think that, you know, not just for me personally, but I think for women everywhere, it's kind of started a huge movement of women supporting women. So I think it goes beyond just the fitness journey.
I love that. Okay, do you think Instagram inspires, this is kind of to what you were saying, inspires or discourages people from chasing and achieving their fitness goals?
Yeah, I have a lot to say on this.
Go for it.
I'll
Go
try
for
to, keep it concise, but I think it's ultimately it's what you make of it, because you choose who you follow, you curate your own feed, but that's not to say that you can't fall in these traps of, comparing yourself to the perfect highlight reel that you see on Instagram. And I even felt that myself. And so I think it was about 2014, I was, comparing myself to all the beautiful fitness models that you see online. And I was like, when I sit down, like, I don't look like that. Like, I have, like, a tummy or rolls or whatever. And not that it's even something to complain about, but it was just like, kind of the comparison of feeling like that was wrong. And I decided to share a picture of it. And it went viral, because people were like, finally, someone who's being real and showing that you're not posed. Like, what you see on Instagram is the 1% of people's lives. It's not the 99% of when they're chilling, and so I think that as long as you find those people who are real, who will show you that a fitness journey isn't perfect, there are gonna be ups and downs, you're gonna go 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and that you're not always posed, I think that that can help curate a more positive journey mentally and emotionally, which can carry you through to the physical results as well. There's nothing wrong with wanting to see physical results, but it's about taking care of your mental health in the process.
Yeah, I mean, God, you just like nailed everything I would say right on the head.
Very passionate.
And I just did a post on this yesterday because it can be a really motivational place depending on who you're following and that sort of thing. But it can also turn into this very overwhelming, judgmental space, putting people down. Unfortunately, people like to hide behind the keyboard and say really nasty things.
Yeah.
So I like, the first thing I will say is this: yes, you choose who you follow, but you also can choose who follows you and comments. There's this lovely little feature I like called swipe delete / block.
Love that one.
So unfortunately, there's always going to be somebody that has something negative to say about anybody's journey, and instead of, I'm always asked how I deal with that, and I don't focus on it. If I see it, it's a swipe, delete, block. And every once in a blue moon, if there's one that sort of really triggers me, I will talk about that like I did the other day, because we are all on our own journeys, and we all are starting in different places on our journeys. And like you were saying, there's so many things where it's like a fitness competitor. Look, I was a fitness competitor for years. You guys, when we compete, you go do a photo shoot and you take photos in 400 different outfits and you pose in all these different poses and you stockpile all these awesome photos. And then guess what? The rest of the year, when you don't look like you did when you stepped on stage, they're posting all their fitness competition photos, and it leaves people that don't realize that that's what's happening feeling like, oh my God, I'm supposed to look like that every single day. And really, you're just supposed to look like you. And you're supposed to be working every day for progress and not for perfection. And that's really all it is. So if you can embrace social media and use it for the tool that you want it to be, of motivating and inspiring you, then that's what it can be. But if you let yourself get sucked into the place of judgment and comparing, then it's going to be a really ugly, nasty place and probably lead you not down a great road.
Totally. And one of the reasons why I follow both of you is because you both are so human. And even just talking to you guys backstage and hanging out with you guys for a bit, I was like even more inspired by the fact that you guys are just down to earth, real, powerful women that just want to empower other women and just people to do what you do, to make healthy choices and create healthy habits.
Likewise.
So that's really awesome.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. Okay, so both of you touch so many lives on a daily basis, including mine. Do you feel any pressure when you think about the magnitude of your reach and influence?
I think sometimes, like, I always keep in mind that there is a magnitude and reach, but when you're going through your daily life, like, I'm a mom, that's what I do, that's my number one priority, and I'm a sister, and I'm a daughter, and I'm an entrepreneur, and so, like, all those things are sort of the daily life things that I focus on. But yes, when you take in that magnitude, it is something that will make me pause and think, like, am I sending out the right message? Am I leading by example? And I hope that I do a good job at it, but when I'm struggling, I try to share that, because I feel like if there's something I'm going through that somebody else is probably going through it, or if I have a bad day where I'm not in the mood to work out, of course everybody has days where they don't want to work out. It's not like we're programmed differently. It's just sort of become a habit and a lifestyle. So it's really a blessing, one, to be able to reach so many people and hopefully help them lead a healthier life. But it's such a huge responsibility to take that on. And so I embrace that, and I love that that is something that I get to do in this lifetime, that I get to help motivate and lead and hopefully make a positive impact on the world instead of maybe some of the negative ones that are happening right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I would just echo literally the exact same things that you said. I think that I'm just so grateful to even have this platform. Like, if you were to talk to me 6 years ago, I would say you're absolutely out of your mind, you know. And so I just always try to look back to who I was then and think about the message that I would want to hear if I was starting out in my journey, or if I was just entering this crazy world of social media, you know, because it's kind of changed really everything in many different industries. And I think it's up to us to use it for the good and to share the struggle, and to not just be robots of I work out every day and that's it and life is great. You know, it's not. Everyone's going to have struggles no matter how many followers they do or don't have, and that we're no better, no different than anyone that doesn't have followers. You know, follower count, it does not measure your value. Likes don't measure your value. You know, it's about the message and how many actual humans you can connect to, not just the followers. So
That's awesome. What was the moment that actually kickstarted each of your health journeys?
yeah, so I grew up in Northern California in a small town eating fast food 3 times a day, and I loved it. I thought it was so delicious. And, you know, when you're young, you don't know any better unless you're being told to do better, and I wasn't. And I, you know, wasn't feeling the effects of it until I was in my early 20s, and one day I keeled over. I couldn't walk, and so I was having such insane stomach pains. I had to go to the emergency room, and it was pretty much my digestive and GI systems were like just done with me from all the McDonald's and Taco Bell that I ate my entire life. And to be honest, that wasn't even, like, it wasn't in that moment. It took a little bit of time because they were like, okay, here's medicine. They didn't ask me about my diet. They didn't ask me if I worked out. It was just, here's medicine, take this. And I did. And I could tell that it was just kind of covering up an issue, that it wasn't getting down to the root cause. And so my husband, who is from Italy, they eat very, very fresh, whole natural foods. He would, you know, early on in our relationship, he would look at me and be like, Anna, you can't eat goldfish crackers for dinner. And I'd be like, yes, I can. Leave me alone. They're delicious. I love them. But, you know, I could tell that, like, I was getting, early 20s. So not, like, older, but, like, enough to where I was starting to feel that, you know, my food choices were impacting my health. And not just physically my body on the outside, but on the inside. And it was kind of when I started listening to him. We were in China by that time. And so I started eating healthy, and just, I was like, this isn't going to work. You know, like, I'm not going to feel any different. This is a waste of my time. It's exhausting, you know. And 4 weeks in, you know, more or less is when I was like, wow, there's something to this, you know, and just kind of went from there. So
That's so cool. I was really young, actually, when I started my fitness journey. I was a competitive dancer. I was 13 when I started competing, and I consider myself blessed every day that I had an amazing, amazing dance teacher. They were actually sisters, and they never once spoke to us about nutrition in a negative way or in a you need to be smaller or anything like that. They always talked to us about fueling our bodies properly, and my teacher was incredibly clever. And she would give us little speeches, but they were in the middle of dancing. So she would tell us, and she would sort of mention that soda wasn't good for us, and if we wanted to do better on stage, you know, maybe you drink more water and don't drink soda. But it was like literally just like that. It was like that little of a thing, which was interesting because I grew up in a restaurant, literally lived upstairs from my dad's Italian restaurant. I ate pizza, pasta subs, chips, and New York-style cheesecake every single day. Thank God for my metabolism, because I was a very active kid. But when I hit my teenage years, it caught up with me a little bit. I went through puberty, and all of a sudden I was getting picked on for my being a little bit chunkier kind of thing, is what the kids would call me. And but I was dancing, so I had my place to escape that made me feel good, where I was getting positive reinforcement. And I would just listen to my teacher. And so when she said soda was bad, I was like, soda's gone. And in like 2 weeks, I dropped 5 pounds. I didn't even try to lose weight. I just walked into dance class one day, and they were all like, what's going on with you? And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, you're so skinny. And I was like, well, I don't know, I stopped drinking soda. But it like so slowly but surely would trigger like little things. And so then it was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna eat white bread, and I switched to wheat bread. And then it was like, well, okay, I didn't like bell peppers, but I was gonna try them. And then I would start to incorporate more vegetables. And then I moved from living with my dad to living with my mom, and my mom was more into fitness. Like, my dad was like a power walker, but he ran our restaurant the whole time. He wasn't sitting there being like, you need to eat better. He was like, here's a pizza. So I was 16 at that time, and I was sort of watching my mom exercise, and I was a competitive dancer. So I was just very aware of what I was putting in my body and what that meant to my dance career. So I think that's how I really started it. I wanted to make sure that I could be the best performer I could be, and that I knew I needed fuel for that, not to starve myself or not to eat really junky. And that's what started me on the whole path.
That's awesome. I can relate to a few of those things. The fast food, I was definitely on that kick, especially dancing, growing up competitively and having to get things on the go. So I can relate to that, and pizza is my favorite food. It is amazing. Okay, so who was your fitness role model when you got started? And same thing for you, Anna.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I had, to this day, my mom had a Denise Austin workout video. It was amazing. And I would do it with her all the time. And Denise was in this like purple leotard with the stomach cut out and her banana yellow tights and her banana yellow Reebok high tops and her big brick bangs. And it was fabulous. And I would do it all the time. So she was one of my biggest inspirations. I would watch my mom do Jane Fonda all the time. When I finally got to meet Denise a couple years ago at an event, it was so great. And I was like, okay, I have to tell you, I had the VHS tape, and she's like, I still have that outfit.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought that, but she was a huge inspiration. So I love it. I love watching her work, and her daughter's actually following in her footsteps now. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually, to be totally honest, as I mentioned, I didn't really grow up into fitness, and I was raised by a single dad, so I didn't have like a mother that was like doing workouts, and for better or for worse, I think that our parents have a really huge impact on us, and it's something that's really important, especially in this day and age with social media. But I didn't really have an inspiration, to be honest. I was just kind of going into it because of my own health reasons, and so I didn't have kind of like that background of like, okay, I know that I should be doing this, like, of course I knew who Jillian Michaels was, like, duh, like I knew who she was, but like I'd never seen an episode. My mind wasn't there. It was like something really had to like click for me. Like people could have told me to the day they died, like, you need to go work out, and I'd be like, okay, cool, like that's fine. And so, yeah, I didn't really have, a one person like goal or idea in mind as my inspiration. And so I think that's why, like, for me, like my community is what's become my inspiration, because they're, your everyday woman, your mothers, but super women at the same time, mothers, students, businesswomen, and they're doing it all, and for me, that's a huge inspiration.
Yeah, and I think to go back to social media, I think that's one of the beautiful things that we can take advantage of is like, that's how I found both of you, and that's how you guys became my Fitspirations and so many others, because I have social media now and I can take advantage of that platform. So I think that's a really great tool to be able to use. So I teach 6 a.m. classes. So I have to ask you guys this. What inspires you to get up and crush your goals when it's 5 a.m. and you'd rather sleep in?
Yeah, so I have this thing that I call robot mode, because like, who wants to wake up at 5:30? I mean, maybe you do. I don't know.
Now I do. I do. It's grown.
But it's like, we're all so busy. Life is always getting busier and busier. And so the only time that we have to work out is at 6 a.m. and working up at 5:30. And I'm a night owl, so how is that going to work? So pretty much what I've kind of developed in my mind is robot mode, where the longer I think about it, the more excuses I'm going to give myself. So I just get up and go. I don't allow myself to think about it, because I am a master procrastinator, and I will think of a million different reasons as to why I can go later in the day, which will never happen. So I have just learned to channel robot mode, and I just get up and go, and that is how I make it happen. It's not about motivation, it's about dedication.
Totally 100% agree. It's not about motivation, it is about dedication. I'm pretty much the same way. I don't have to do my workouts at 6 a.m. very often anymore. I did live that lifestyle for a very long time where I was seeing clients by 6 a.m., so I'd be up at like 4:30 just getting ready and driving to somebody's house. But I look at it as like, I say this to myself all the time. I'm like, you paid your dues, so you only do the 5:30 and 6 a.m. workouts when you absolutely have to, which are on like usually like travel days. But same thing, when those days come up when I have to do it, one, I don't look at it as that I have to. It's still I want to. I still want to get my workout in, and if that's the time that I can get it in, then I actually want to get up and get it in. That doesn't mean when the alarm goes off I don't want to do it, but I'm the same way. It's robot mode basically. The alarm goes off, there is no snooze. I turn it off. I don't hit the snooze button, because if you hit the snooze button, you can go back to sleep, but if you turn it off, you're in trouble. So that's my rule, is I don't hit snooze, I turn it off, and then I'm just up and I go. And as soon as you're up and moving, you're so much happier, and you know that if you don't get up and you lay there and take those extra 30 minutes, the rest of the day you're mad at yourself, and you're going, I should have just got up and done it. So that sort of sits in the back of my mind too. Like, I know I'll regret it if I don't.
I love that. Yeah, I would have to say I have a robot mode too. I have to just get up and go for it, and no, you cannot hit the snooze button. I've done it before. It is so dangerous. Can't do that. Okay, so do each of you have a favorite or go-to exercise? Just one. Or you can have maybe multiple.
I feel like I have multiple. I think it depends on the body part, but I love glute bridges. I just love them. I don't know. I think that's like my one that I'm like super looking forward to, and always trying like different variations. And so, yeah, if I had to pick one, that would be it. Because if you do it right, you can engage your core too. So it's not just for your booty. So, yeah.
Gosh, I don't know if I have one exercise, but if you know me, you know I love leg day. So anything that's gonna work, squat, a lunge, a curtsy, a glute bridge, anything that's gonna work the lower body is my favorite thing to do. So, but I guess probably if I had to pick, it would be some version of a squat. Like, get it all.
Yeah, yeah. I guess leg day for me too, just because of being a dancer and always being up on your feet, and I use my legs so much. But I would say like anything to like the beat of the music. Because like at Box Union, we box to the beat, everything goes rhythmically, and music's always my driving force. I don't know, do you guys have like a favorite type of music that you like to listen to when you're working out?
I'm the worst. No, I don't. I will just put on like iTunes radio, like pop station, and I'm good. I mean, I'll skip through like the slow ones, of course, but like I mean like Beyonce, you know, and like things like that, but nothing like super specific.
I'm a diehard old school hip hop girl. So like if I'm up on stage, you're usually getting like 80s or 90s, like hip hop, like the old school stuff. It depends on the mood. I will say that. Like, music definitely helps with the mood. So like, Nelly is a go-to on my on my station.
Yes.
But like the other day, it was like Boys to Men and Belle Biv DeVoe and like Tone Loc. So like those are always like, they're just gonna make me feel so good. Like, it's just like that happy time. It's like, oh, I'm remembering you were a kid. It was summer, and like it makes you want to move.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really love that. Okay, so what are some new fitness trends or workouts that you're both excited about?
Yeah, I would just say what I'm really interested in is like VR and AI for the future of fitness, and like how that is going to kind of further help people on their journeys. So I think, but that's kind of more, I feel like a little bit more long term. It's not, I mean, no, there are some things that are around the corner, but just things where with AI kind of, you know, machinery that helps to identify your weaknesses and how to counteract that. And I would say that's probably something that I'm looking forward to the most, yeah.
I think with 80-Day Obsession, that is something the way we filmed 80-Day Obsession is the first of its kind. We filmed for 80 days straight, and we filmed in real time. So over the years, if you were doing an at-home program and buying a DVD, you know, that workout was filmed one time with that one cast. So every time you play it, you hear the exact same speech and the exact same motivation, and you have to figure out how to progress that workout on your own if you want to keep doing it. With 80-Day Obsession, it was so much fun. It's literally 80 different workouts. The background cast, you're watching them progress, you're watching them get stronger. You got to watch me go through my struggles and what were my good days and what were my bad days, and they are right there out there for everybody to see. And I think that really is something of the future in how we film these workouts, because that is what really like draws people in when you can watch the background cast go through a progression, when you can watch them bond, when you can watch them struggle. It's not all edited and perfect and cut down. So the technology behind all the streaming and that sort of thing has really opened up a new world to basically make it feel like you're stepping into a group class, even online. So if you can't if you can't, if they want to take a class with you and they can't, they could, hopefully one day show up to your class via online. And I think that that's a really new, amazing thing that's going to keep people going.
Yeah. Box Union's definitely headed in that direction too. I love it. Do you think strength training should be just as popular with women as it is for men, and why?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. It's, there's such this misconception out there that we're gonna get bulky, ladies. And it's just so not true. We don't have the testosterone to do it, because we're ladies. We're not gonna bulk up like a man. But it is just as important for really building that lean muscle, sculpting your body, giving you the definition that you want, keeping your bones strong. You can use it in a way of cardio strength training. That's how I like to sort of design my workouts, where you're using the weight training to also bring your heart rate up at the same time so you get more bang for your buck. So I think instead of being afraid of it or worried about it, like, we can recognize that there's so many benefits from it, and benefits that happen faster than just steady state cardio, that if you just do it and go all in and do it, and follow somebody that's going to really lead you and teach you form and all that you're going to have really amazing results. So absolutely, it's just as important.
Yeah, this literally same exact thing. We don't have the testosterone to get big, bulky muscles, and to each their own. You can sculpt your body the way you want with strength training, and it's empowering. I think it's not so much just about the physical side of it, but it's the mental and emotional side. There's so many girls in my community that have said to me that, like, the strength I built through your programs from strength training has empowered me to leave that job that I hated, to leave that abusive relationship. And it's not just strength training. It goes into so many other aspects of your life that I think as women, why wouldn't we want to be more empowered? I think that it's just such a huge, important part of our lives that goes way beyond fitness.
It's life training. I
Yes,
love that.
it
That's what it
is,
is.
yes.
It's life training.
I love that. So how do you both avoid burnout in your workout routines?
The biggest way to avoid burnout in the workout routine is to not get stuck in the same workout routine. So you find something that you really like and you do it and you get great results, and so you do it again and you get great results and then you do it again. But finding variety. So just knowing what it is that you like, but just knowing how to change it up ever so slightly. So if you do like weight training, that you follow one program, but when you finish it, maybe try another version, another trainer, or another program from that same trainer, something, so that you're not doing the exact same exercises the exact same way every day. But there's lots of little changes that you can make. The time of day that you work out. Are you lifting a little bit heavier some days compared to a little bit lighter? Are you changing up your cardio when you do it? Is your nutrition dialed in? These are all things that, because if you do start to plateau, that's when you start to want to quit. And so making sure that you don't really hit that plateau, and that you're also looking at the non-scale victories, right? It's not just about the way your body looks. It's about, how is this making me feel? How does my body feel? How do my muscles feel? How does my mind feel? Like, is my skin clearer? So I think if you look at all of those things and pay attention to how your life is progressing and how your workout is helping you in life, it makes it that much easier not to get burned out. Because for me, it's not just a physical, what does my body look like? I say it all the time, it's my therapy. So for me, I'm not burnt out because every day brings some sort of challenge, and so that's my chance to go do something special for me and to let it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just changing your workouts, being sure that you're always doing something different, whether it's, each day or over the course of a few weeks. You want to be sure that you are challenging yourself both physically but mentally as well. You don't ever want to get bored or get to a point where you're like, oh, I'm not excited about this anymore. And sure, not every day you're going to be like, yes, I'm so excited. That's okay. There are going to be hard days, but you just always want to be sure that you are at least excited on a weekly basis and that you are doing something that is going to push you. And so whether it's trying a different workout class, I'm so excited to
Yes, I can't wait till you guys come box it out with me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just being sure that you're doing something that is allowing you to step outside of your comfort zone, which is hard. It takes, a bit to get there. And so, and just being sure that you also recognize that you're not doing it just for the physical. Like, you have to think, but how is this benefiting me throughout my entire day? If I don't work out for a few days, I'm like, huh. I lose so much energy. And so a lot of times my motivation is just, I don't want to miss a workout if it's been like too many consecutive days, because I'm like, oh, I really don't want to be feeling so, dragging throughout the day. Like, that's my espresso, is like getting my workout in. And so, yeah, just definitely doing something different, being sure that you're looking at all sides of it and challenging yourself.
I love that. Okay, we only have time for one more question. I'm having so much fun talking to you guys, and I'm learning so much too. But if you each had one piece of advice for someone who feels like giving up on their fitness industry, what would it be?
Yeah, I would just say take it one day at a time. It's really easy to look at how far you have to go, but you always want to look at, if you've been in it for a bit, how far you've come, and take it one day at a time, and to know that you are so much stronger than you ever thought you were, and you can do so much more than you ever thought imaginable, and to just always remember that, and to be nice to yourself.
I love that.
Love that. It only works if you do the work, and it doesn't work if you quit. So that's the biggest thing, is just don't quit. Like, don't worry about the timeline. So many people get hung up on, it has to happen by this date. If I haven't reached this goal by this date, then forget it. And there is no end date on your fitness journey. It's not money in the bank. It's not like, okay, I worked out for a month, I put on lean muscle, and I can be done for the rest of my life. It's an ongoing thing. So you have to change your mindset about it and just make it, it's like brushing your teeth. Like, of course you brush your teeth. You don't want them to fall out of your head. Of course you are gonna exercise because you want to be healthy. So if you turn it and look at it as I'm doing this for my health. I'm not doing this as a punishment to myself. And it doesn't matter when I hit a number on a scale or a certain size in my clothing, because that's not what's really important. My health is what's important. Then that's what's gonna really carry you through the journey, because this is a very long journey we have ahead of us. So taking it one day at a time, like you said, and it's about progress. It's not about perfection. There's no such thing as being perfect. None of us are perfect. So just know that you'll have ups and downs on all of it, and keep going.
I love that. Anna, Autumn, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank
you guys
you
are so beautiful.
guys.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
thank you.
have an incredible, stronger weekend.